Hello and welcome again to Arthur Brown Photography. It's a while since I've had a sit-down talk. I haven't produced too many videos so far this year because I've been plagued with health problems since Christmas, both health-wise and mobility-wise. After a few months of intensive physio and exercise, I'm now mobile again, and getting out and about and doing a bit of videoing. But today I wanted to talk about my return to the Micro Four Thirds format. I know in the past I have promised that I'd do a video about my history with video cameras, because I started my career as a videographer back in 1985 as a very young man. But that's a subject for another day. Back in 2015, I bought a GH4 when they first came out. I was then, as now, a Canon user. I've got both full frame and APS-C Canon bodies and loads of lenses. So I didn't bother to buy any Panasonic lenses. I just bought a speed booster, a Metabone speed booster, actually, quite an expensive bit of kit, and thought, oh, okay, I'll just use my Canon lenses. Yeah, that was okay. Obviously the crop factor is a bit of a problem because the Micro Four Thirds format has a ×2 crop, although the speed booster did have, I think the one I had was a ×0.64, so that did reduce that quite considerably, and you get the extra stop and a bit of light. But I never really got on with the combination. Firstly, the autofocus never worked properly with a speed booster, and also it was quite noisy as well because it was always shattering and hunting. And I found the image stabilisation wasn't great either with IS lenses. And whilst it was fine for making videos on a tripod, the combination of small body and the speed booster and the larger Canon lenses was a bit unwieldy, to say the least. And I really did struggle with it, actually. Right, that's better. I just had to go and let the dog out. Yes, I was saying that I really did struggle with the combination because I had no Panasonic lenses. I really didn't want to invest in that as well, and I thought the speed booster would be a bit of a panacea, but it wasn't. It was a very good video camera, but awkward to use, and quite a mediocre stills camera with the speed booster and Canon lens combination. Coupled with that, I didn't really have the hardware or software to easily edit 4K video. So in the end, I gave up. I invested in the body, a cage, the speed booster, a monitor screen, a microphone system. I sold the whole lot as a package to a guy in Greece. Got a good price for it, and I bought one of the Canon full frame body. However, as time's gone on, for the last few years I've been using the Canon 70D for video, and I built that up with a cage. And I did make a video a few months ago about this, but again, it's quite a lot of kit to carry around. It gets quite heavy, and I found more and more I was actually using my Sony. This is a CX450 Handycam for video. I'm gonna have to go and let the dog in again now. Right, I'm back. Yeah, this CX450 is actually brilliant. It's a simple vlogging camera. It's 8-bit video at quite a low bit rate. The quality out of the camera is pretty good, but as soon as you try and grade it or anything, it just gets a bit muddy. So it's a bit, you know, if you want a vlogging camera with produces footage that doesn't need much post-production work, ideal and very cheap, 150 quid at the moment. Because I've been ill and had a lot of time to sit about, I've been doing a bit of research on video cameras, and I decided I wanted something lighter than the Canon body, and I really wanted something that produced 10-bit video rather than the 8-bit most of the video cameras produce. So I started to look around, and the best options really were the Blackmagic 4K, the Panasonic GH5, and Panasonic also do a range of camcorders actually, which produce 10-bit video as well. There's lots of others, but they're not really affordable not for me anyway. So I did a lot of thinking, and I thought, well, if I go down the Micro Four Thirds route of either a Panasonic or the Blackmagic 4K, you know, this time I'm actually going to get some Panasonic lenses. And I thought about this for a while and did a lot of research. At the time, the GH6 had just been released as well earlier in the summer. So that actually meant there was quite a few GH5s second-hand going at good prices on eBay. So I'm still undecided. The one thing that I've always found with both the APS-C cameras and the Micro Four Thirds with the crop factor involved is they're not that well served at the wide angle lens end of the market. You know, there are wide angle lenses, but they're usually fairly modest apertures, you know, f3, 5, f4 upwards, you know. So you know, in the past I've had a APS-C3 Canon, you know, 10 to 18, brilliant lens, but it was like f4.5 to f5.6, which is great in bright light but useless, you know, at night really. The one thing that swung it for me in the end was the announcement that that Leica were going to make a 9mm f1.7 lens. Now to me that's, you know, ideal. It's about equivalent to about 18mm. It's got a big aperture, so it's going to be good for lower light photography. So I thought, yeah, that's going to come out in a bit. I'm going to buy the GH5. So I got a GH5 on eBay at a great price, and it included a small rig cage, which is a really good quality one, and also a speed booster. Now, it wasn't a Metabones, it was a Vitrox speed booster. And it was a speed booster for the Canon EOS system, which is fine because I've got dozens of Canon lenses. But I thought, no, I didn't get on with the speed booster before, so I'm going to buy some Panasonic lenses to go with it. So I thought, well, first of all, I bought a 14 to 42, which is kind of a, you know, a kit lens. But actually, I'm surprised how good it is. It is very sharp. The autofocus is pretty good. Not as good as a Canon lens, but it's good, and it's very quiet. So I thought, well, that'll do me. I still needed a wide angle lens, so while I waited for the Leica, I bought before I talk about that, I'll just show you the GH5. I say, take a minute to focus now. Let me press the button. Might be like that. It's I'd say, came with a cage. I put the top up, this handle on. I've got another handle for that side if I want to use it. Got top handle, got screen, everything else. So, but I bought this 14 to 42 lens. Really, really good. So it's got a variable ND on it as well now. So, but for cover the wide angle end of things, I bought this Meike. This is a 12mm f2.8, It's just a temporary thing until I get my 9mm. But that's pretty good. It's manual focus, so a bit more thinking involved. But to be honest, at 12mm, it's equivalent to 24mm on a full frame camera. It's a good field of view. And if you're using it at a fairly small aperture, most things can focus anyway, so the autofocus is probably irrelevant. But I say this is just a stopgap. As far as the Leica 9mm lens goes, it's been a long wait. These things have been were sent out for review, with chosen YouTubers, not me, unfortunately. Chosen YouTubers some months ago, and they look really, really cracking. So, but we've been waiting and waiting and waiting. But yesterday, because I've been checking every day, yesterday I logged into Wex, his website, about 5 o'clock. And they got them in stock, so I ordered one straight away. By 6 o'clock they'd all gone. So hopefully by tomorrow I should actually have the 9mm lens. So I'm quite happy about that. But you've got to think to yourself now, is going back to Micro Four Thirds retrogressive? Perhaps, but I can't afford to go down the Canon RF route or Sony FX3 or anything like that yet. At my age, I probably never will. But with the GH5, I've now got better quality video. I've got 4K, and I've got it at up to 400 megabits per second as well. I was a bit worried about storage for that, but I've got a V60 card, and that seems to cope fine with the 400 megabits. 10-bit colour as well, which is great for colour grading. For the moment, I'm quite pleased that I've gone back to Micro Four Thirds. I will say that I'm still not happy with it even with the GH5. Not that happy with it as a still camera. I don't know. There's I did use it for a photo shoot last week, and I don't know. There's still something about the quality of the pictures that's not quite as good as the Canon system. So, but we'll wait and see. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed my ramblings today. Needless to say, I've been showing you the GH5. This isn't filmed in 4K on GH5. This is actually in HD on the Canon 70D. Still a great camera. If it had 4K, it would be much better. But anyway, we've got to try and work to our budget some way there. I hope you enjoyed this, and hopefully I'm going to get out and about a bit more, and do something a bit more interesting. Perhaps I think I might have a car show later this week, which is always a good place to get some great photos. Right, bye for now.